Hey everyone, Elliot here. Wanted to record a quick video on how to actually use Claude with Excel. This isn't just asking AI to create a formula and then plugging it in and doing a lot of manual work. This is a full-on extension, a full-on integration with Excel. If you've never heard of it or used it, this is going to help you go maybe from 5 hours of work into 5 to 10 minutes. So this is a very powerful feature. And of course, I'm going to show you guys how to set it up and the power of this and what we can build with this. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So I've just opened up Excel. I have some pretty basic sample data here. I have some dates, some sales reps, products, quantity, unit price, total sale, region, and month, right? So it's some pretty basic data, but we're gonna do some pretty powerful stuff with just this. Now, the first thing we wanna do is actually have the Claude extension, which is right here. Now, it's super easy to set up. However, this is a paid feature. You do have to be on the paid plan to have this available, but it is super worth it. You're gonna wanna go to add-ins over here. We're on the home tab right now. Click on add-ins, and we're literally just gonna type in Claude, and it's literally going to be this one. So make sure to add this, make sure to have the basic plan for Claude, and then you're looking to follow the instructions. It's going to open up a browser, put in a code, you log in, and then you should now have the Claude extension up here. Now, if I click on this, we can already see what it's recommending. We can ask questions on certain cells, we can build full-on financial models, clean up data, and debug. Okay, so I'm gonna click on next. This is just kind of like their onboarding. I'm gonna make this actually a little bit bigger so we can see. It doesn't really matter what you click here. You could just do whatever you're doing. Next, you could probably skip it as well. We could go ahead and click skip and next. Okay, and we also have a hotkey, which is kind of nice. Click next. Okay, yep, let's just say I understand. And then now we have the interface right here. So we can pick the model. This is just obviously depending on how complex you want to build stuff inside of Excel. And you could also attach screenshots, images, whatever you want to do. You have a bunch of options here. Skills, plugins, connectors. This is more of like the advanced stuff, but even without these skills or plugins, you can still do really impressive stuff. So what I want to do is play around with this data. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually say, I would like to sort my data by date. I'm going to make it very broad. I'm going to see what it says. And also, if you notice, if you click on a cell, it'll actually tell you the cell that's selected. So if you have a specific question on, hey, what is this formula? What does this number mean? It does have the context because it is selected. Now, I could select my entire range, or I could just leave it as is. For this case, I'll just select the entire range. I'm gonna click send. And let's see how it sorts it. So we can see right now that this is not sorted. We've got February, March, May, and then we have March again. So it's kind of all over the place. And all I want to do is have this nice and sorted by date. Okay, so it's thinking, responding. What I usually like to do here is do always allow, kind of like bypass permissions, especially if you've been using Claude Code. You do be careful if it's a very large and complex workbook to be careful, but because this is obviously something, just some sample data, I'm going to do always allow, or even dangerously allow. You can see right here, accept all edits. I have that on, not ask before edits, but you can do whatever you want with this. Okay, so now it says done. We sorted the range, and now we can actually take a look, and we can see everything's February. Then we have March. Then we have April. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So this is pretty basic, right? We're just sorting it. We didn't have to actually go to data and then click on sort, pick what we wanted. We had Claude do all of that entirely for us. All right, now what else could we do? What I'd like to do is have a pivot table on another sheet. So usually what you'd have to do is you go to insert, pivot table, go to the next sheet, and then you actually drag and drop and select what you want to do. Here I'm literally going to say, add a new sheet, make a pivot table for sales reps by region. Okay, again, keeping it rather broad. And in probably around 30 seconds to a minute, it's going to do all of that for me. Okay, there we go. That took about like 15 seconds. We now have a new tab here, pivot, with the data that I wanted. We can see all of the sales reps here. We can see the region, east, north, south, west, and their grand totals. So from this, we can clearly see that this was the most amount of money generated. And you'll notice as well that when I click on the pivot table, we have everything on the right side that we usually have to actually drag in to customize our pivot table. If you don't really know how this works and how to do it, you literally just have Claude build your entire pivot tables. I know that in finance or a lot of financial analysts, they work with pivot tables a lot. A few years ago when I had an internship, I was working a lot with pivot tables and I absolutely hated it. So this is definitely something I wish I had back then. But so that's one example. We can create more and more pivot tables for whatever category we want from this. So essentially what I want to clarify is that Claude can, whatever's up here in your quick access, Claude can access, okay? Highlight in colors, bolds, formats, all that stuff, it can do. The one thing Claude cannot do is actually code VBA. If you go to Developer tab, Visual Basic, we can't write code. What I do for this is I actually just open Claude Desktop, it codes it, and then I actually just copy and paste in the VBA editor. So hopefully that'll come out sometime in the near future, because that'd be really powerful, actually coding alongside you in VBA, but everything else it can do. So let's say here, we're gonna go back to sheet 1. I'm gonna say highlight the rows where the most amount of sales happened. Obviously, I'm just trying to do something here that would make sense. Highlight the rows where the most amount of sales happened. Let's just do the top 3 most amounts of money. In green, use conditional formatting. Okay, if you don't know what conditional formatting is, it's over here. You go to the Home tab. You can actually have formulas. If you do like a new rule, you can create, let me go down to use a formula. You can create formulas to actually highlight certain cells. So I'm not gonna do any of that. Clearly here it already did it. We have 3 rows with the most amount of money, 25 grand, 47, and 47. And that would be the 3 largest numbers in this column here. And again, I like how brief I am because it basically understands what I'm saying. Of course, if you're actually using this with a real data set, be a little bit more specific. If I were to click on the table here and go to conditional formatting, I go to manage rules, I now have a formula that Claude generated for me. So I didn't actually have to think of this myself and write it, because I remember before AI, I would spend a lot of time on stuff like this. And even without AI, this would probably take you a few minutes unless you knew exactly the formula you wanted. But yeah, so that was really nice. Now, what if I wanted to create a full-on interactive dashboard? This is one of my favorite things, and this is a really powerful thing. What if I wanted to create a full-on dashboard? I used to do this before AI, and this would take me days, like genuinely take me days. Now, I'm gonna say in 3 minutes, it's gonna make a full-on dashboard. It's fully interactive with all of this data. So here I'm gonna say, create a new tab. It needs to be a fully interactive dashboard. I want neo colors with a black, let's just say background. I don't know what I mean. Fully interactive dashboard. I want neo colors with the black background, beautiful graphs, all within our data set. Let's include filters, graphs, etc. That is all I'm going to say. And I'm going to say in a few minutes, it's going to make that new tab, and we're going to have a full-on dashboard created literally from this data set. Now, we'll see how it does. It might miss a few things, and that's completely normal. AI is not going to get a first try every single time. But from there, we'll take a look, and then we will adjust as we see fit. And I am using Opus 4.8. I'm using one of the most powerful models. I think this is pretty appropriate for a task like this. We're trying to build a full dashboard. I'm sure these other models could do it as well, maybe not as accurately, or maybe it would take a little bit longer. So I'd rather take a little bit longer to get something a bit more accurate with one of the strongest models. Here it's saying weighing pivot tables with shared slicers for interactivity. Again, so we'll see how it does on the slicers. We'll see how it does on the pivot tables. But essentially what I'm guessing is going to happen is it's going to do pivot tables like this, probably multiple of them, and then I'll include it directly inside of that dashboard with buttons for filters and all that good stuff. So I'm actually excited to see the result. Yeah, it's even mentioned here, this is a bigger build, so here's my plan for the dashboard. It's clearly made a plan. Convert the data to a table. So that's actually something I was going to mention a little bit later. The reason why we want to make a table is so when we add new data, it's actually fully dynamic and updates the dashboard. When I played around with this, it didn't do that, so I had to tell it, hey, make a table. So we can see we now have a table design. We want the black background with a Neo theme, KPI cards, okay, 4 charts. Okay, so it said 4 charts, interactive slicers. Okay, cool. So it kind of made a little plan with some bullet points, and now it is executing. It's probably been around a minute by now, so we'll see how much longer it takes. And we can already see that the tab was just populated. If I click on that, it's starting to do some work. So let's just be a little bit more patient. It's now saying we might get a potential data loss, delete worksheet. Yeah, that's fine. Let's dangerously always allow for now. Okay, so I guess it changed its mind midway. That's interesting. So we'll see what else it does. It'll probably create a new sheet. I'm assuming I can already see it's making a helper column here. That's interesting. And I do want to mention that in the description down below, I'll have a link to my free school community where I'll have the sample data. If you guys want to play around with this with Claude, you don't have to go get your own sample data. So I'll just attach that with all my YouTube resources in the first link in the description down below. We now have a completely black spreadsheet, and it made a calc worksheet, and it also made a dashboard tab here. So we got 2 new tabs. Okay, I'm actually really intrigued now. Okay, that seems to be populating. I'm a big fan of the colors. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted something fully black with neon colors. Okay, cool. If I click on these, we can see that these are formulas, right? So everything's dynamic, like I said. Total sales, we're doing the subtotal formula coming from the table reference. We have transactions, units sold, and the total sales. Cool. And I'm excited to see how the graphs and charts are going to look as well. And wow, that was quick. It just automatically populated all of that. Okay. You can see it added average order, sales by region, monthly trend. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this a little bit so we can see a little bit more. And let's see what else it is doing. Let's see what else it's going to add. I don't see any pivot tables just yet. Okay, it's now saying the dashboard is built and looks great. Okay, give me a little bit of a summary. All right. So I was pretty broad with my request. And let's see already what it did. So it did those formulas up here. It got 4 graphs. I don't see, okay, if we scroll down, we get our slicers. It seems the slicers aren't the same colors that we wanted, but I mean, it did place them exactly in a great spot. My camera just died on me. So what I was saying was, now I'm assuming if we click on these filters, these slicers, this will update. So if we go to central, we can see, let me go ahead and just exit this out. So we look at central, we see the data for central, we can do east, everything moves dynamically. Now, I didn't specifically say, hey, make sure to add pivot tables. When it was thinking, it said like, oh, thinking about pivot tables, so I assumed it was going to add pivot tables. So we could add a lot more, but this probably took around 5 minutes. So something that used to take me 3 days now takes me 5 minutes. Of course, I'd have a little bit more data in here, but I think you get the point. So super powerful. Same with this gadget for north. Like we just keep filtering and filtering, and this just keeps updating. But I really like the colorway that it chose. I could be like, hey, add the pivot tables. Let's add this. Let's remove that, just to get it perfect. But this is essentially what I had in mind. Go ahead and reset these filters, and it did very well. So let me just filter by May. We can see everything for May. So thanks for making it till the end of the video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, just like, share, whatever you guys want to do. It helps my channel grow. And like I said, I will have the sample data in my school community in the first link in the description down below. So thanks again, and I will see you all in the next one.